Just when America has reached a breaking point with division, visionary influencer Danny Benson's I'm Proud of You Sis Bro movement taps into the pulse and heartbeat of a culture radically torn. But this loving mom's voice of reason and calm has received national recognition.
How'd you balance having your children and always traveling with the Yankee organization?
When I became a dad, I said that I would always love like a mother.
I feel like I have to try certain things or act a different way because I know some people or some kids.
So join Danny Benson as she celebrates her special guests on her show and highlights their gifts and contributions to our world.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining. I'm proud of you, sis. I am Danny Benson, host. I'm hoping everyone's having a great day today and every day. Let's find a positive, even though there's negative all over us sometimes, all around the world. Let's find something positive to talk about. Today, I am so proud to have this guest on. I'm so proud of her. Sis, wow, I just want to tell you, this is an amazing woman. Please stay on, tune in to hear her speak about her event that's coming next week called Manifest Your Vision Board. She is a well-known public speaker, the connector, and let me tell you something. When you listen to this woman, you would definitely be going to her event in New York City next week. I have Miss Boozy Masiko here on I'm Proud of You, sis. I want to give her flowers because, lady, when I tell you she has a heart of gold, she definitely has a heart of gold. And she is part of trying to bring the African diaspora together, Black Americans to come to Africa, because there's so much there. So many resources, so many opportunities for businesses in all cultures to go and visit Africa. But I want to introduce Boozy Mansiko to the show. Hey, Boozy, how are you?
Hi, Danny. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. So next week you have your Manifest Your Vision board. So tell me, how did you come to bring this into fruition?
Wow. Danny, I've always believed that when you write down stuff, you either don't forget it, and it comes to pass. And for me, I just believe that when you write, it's like it gives you some level of structure as well. But it also, I believe it's putting it out in the universe. And even for me as a Christian, there's also a scripture to that effect. Habakkuk 2, I think, 2 2. And I just started writing a vision board about 5 years ago and inviting people, and it just went viral. I was doing it informally, and due to public demand, people have said, Boosie, come on, take it seriously. And that's how I've decided to bring it back. The last time I had one online, I had about 10,000 views. That was in 2021, I believe. And so just keep doing it, to encourage people, motivate them to bring their visions to pass. Because I, I think of winning, and I always believe in doing my best in whatever I do. And so sometimes you have to challenge yourself, and that's through setting of goals. And that's what inspires this.
So what do you think is the importance of having a vision board? Like, break it down to people. The reason why the Oprahs in the world say it works.
Think about it this way. You want to buy a house, you write it down. And then it's also like a doing board. You'll figure out, then I think it's an idea of now getting like even cutouts and putting them on something visual that you look at in the morning. Oh, you want to lose weight, you write it on your vision board. You get maybe a flyer or something, and you put or cut out from a magazine and put it in your vision board. It's visual. Some people have vision books, you know, And now it's something that you keep looking at, and it's like, oh, wow. And when you achieve one thing, you're inspired to achieve the others. So I tend to like to break down mine into spiritual, into personal, into business. I like to break them down, family. And yeah, so for people who are attending my vision board event next week, well, they'll get an email after the RSVP via Eventbrite, giving them a pre-worksheet with what they could put in their vision board, like a guide. And that will make it easier for someone who finds it daunting and who wonders where to start from.
Whoa. Okay. So tell me something. What would be on your vision board?
What will be on my vision board?
Yes.
I want to lose a certain amount of weight. About my coach has said I need to lose at least about 40 to 50 to 60 pounds. I'm going to write that on my vision board, and
And what
I'm going to
else?
work towards it.
Well,
I'm buying a house next year.
is that COVID? Is that COVID weight? Because we
Yes,
all
it
gained
is.
weight during
And also
COVID.
over 40 years, over 40 weights. It's a combination. And I'm doing this weight loss for health purposes. I've resumed going back to the gym. I've mentally checked in myself into that, and then there'll be accountability, right? So I'm buying a house next year. I'm believing that. And
2024. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
and more strengthened relationships and more business deals. Being intentional. I'm being intentional about all these things, like I have been about whatever I write on my vision board. And yeah, I've seen someone who came onto someone who came onto my vision board event last 2 years ago. She got a 70% pay increase this year. She wanted to get 3 million rand. That's South Africa. And that was then 3 times what she was making then. And it has come to pass.
Yeah.
And being debt free. I put debt free, and I became debt free.
I believe in vision boards. I believe in, you manifest, like you see it, you write it down, and it becomes. Just like the Bible says, you ask and you shall receive. You shall receive.
Yes.
A lot of people don't ask.
Yes. And that's true. And let me tell you something. There's something about doing a vision board with other people there. It's like you're having cocktails, or you're eating, you're breaking bread together, you're being inspired by getting scissors, someone is passing the glue, someone is passing the markers. It's like a community. So dress comfortably to come and do this, and just look at it as a team building kind of event. And people have made lifetime friends about us since. I have a friend who has she was a stay-at-home mom, gone through a bad divorce, and now she has a a six-figure business, as a result of the vision boards.
So what else do you do, Miss Boozy?
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm a consultant. I'm a consultant. I have an advisory, management consulting. So I do a lot of advising to companies and individuals who are, on how to scale their businesses, industry agnostic. And I'm on the board of trustees, Berkeley College, as well as advisory board of the Sepsis Alliance and Lalela projects and others. I'm also I also convene the Africa Future Summit, and I'm about amplifying excellence, especially Black excellence. And that's we brought up the whole diaspora thing mention. Yes, I'm about encouraging the
bridge.
building the bridge between Africa and diaspora, and encouraging people that there's also funding on the continent. Like for instance, there's a company, bank called Afro Exim Bank. It has a creative fund of $1 billion US dollars for creatives of Afro descent. People don't know about that. So we can't operate in silos. We need to start sharing information from one place to another, like we do. And also amplifying our businesses and basically, I'm about, in summary, strengthening our ecosystems. because
because the world is smaller, right?
it is actually, it is, but it is and it's not, right? Um, it is in terms of, yes, things now with technology it has narrowed it, but at the same time, there's so much out there. The pie is, there are many pies, not even the pie is big. There are many pies. So people should stop being selfish and clenching their hands closed. They should open their
And
hands.
living in scarcity where
Exactly.
they don't. I understand people work hard to get where they are. They work hard to get into those circles. But the biggest blessing you will have in life is by sharing that. In the Bible, it says, "Be fruitful." If God,
Absolutely.
if God is giving you access, God is giving you information that other people might not have. Best believe God is going to bless you. You could give that information out. I tell people all the time, God has a plan for each and every human being on this earth. And the information that you might get, I might give you. You're a completely different person than me. You might use it completely different than me. But the way that we're going to get our community to grow, like other communities, is to help each other out and to share information, because that's how the pot grows. And that
100%.
includes African Americans here and doing a diaspora with the continent of Africa and other continents also. We have to think outside the box. And because the money is there for all of us, there's money in this world, there's trillions of dollars being spent every single day. We can get a piece of that pie if we work together.
I agree because sometimes people think because they've blessed somebody and then they feel that um, that person has not reciprocated. That person might not be your blessing. And so some people are like have of the mindset that, you know what, I did this for this person. This person did not do this for me, so I'm not going to help others. You're
And
doing
you can't,
yourself a disservice.
yes.
That person might not be, God probably made you bless that person so that someone else will, don't expect people to pay you back. But if you're willing to give, guess what? Others will also see how much impacts you have done in the world and they'll point to you or
I
into your
tell people,
children.
yes, I tell people all the time, pay it forward.
Pay it
Because some
forward,
because
absolutely.
someone is not giving it back to you, don't expect the knowledge that you give that person that it's not going to be paid for to someone else that might need it.
And let me tell you something. Have you heard of this statement? Where's the place with the most ideas?
No, I haven't heard that statement. Where is it?
The grave, right? So
Wow.
if you
Oh,
keep ideas to
oh
yourself,
my God.
you'll expire with them, right?
Oh my God.
And
You're
so
so right.
you decide not to give Bridget. Guess what? Someone else will pour into Bridget, and Bridget will still succeed. And yet, if you had poured into Bridget, you'd be basking in Bridget's success. But you think you'll stop Bridget? If Bridget's door is supposed to be open,
Yes.
you won't stop that door. You won't
Yes.
block her. She'll
Yes.
still succeed.
And people need to, you know what? People need to understand that. People think because they don't provide information or help, they think that's going to stop that person's purpose. But if that person has drive and that person knows where they're supposed to be going, your no does not stop their whole destiny.
It may delay it, but it won't stop their destiny.
And everything happens for a reason. So if you do say no, and it might be delayed, but something 10 times bigger might be coming its
Yeah.
way.
Especially, people like myself, I don't take no for an answer. So
Yes, I know.
instead, you'll be a catalyst for my growth because you say no to me. Okay, next I'll go and I don't. I will. I don't give up because of rejection.
Well, let me ask you a question. Tell me how people could handle rejection, because in the human anatomy, it is so, sometimes you don't want to ask, sometimes you don't want to do, sometimes you let fear stop you
It's
because
disappointing.
rejection. Yes, yes,
It is
yes.
very disappointing. Trust me. I think maybe I'm now older, so I've learned that
You're
hey,
not that much older, girl.
no, no, but I'm saying, but I'm just
You
saying
look
for someone else that I've
fantastic.
learned. Yes, I'm
Wisdom.
youthful. I'm youthful, but I
Yes,
have wisdom as well.
wisdom.
So I look at it this way. Yes, rejection stings, man. It does. But
Yes.
guess what? I dust myself up and say, you know what? maybe there's a lesson from this. Maybe I should change my approach. Maybe I should change the rooms I'm in.
Mm.
And after that, and then I go to people who there are those people who give you constructive criticism.
Yes.
But you listen to them because they've poured into you. So when they advise you, it's from a good place.
Yes.
So when I go to such people and talk to them about what I'm going through, I find that has also given me drive, because they affirm you when you even can't affirm yourself. They encourage you never to give up. That's why it's who you surround. You're who you are.
It's a circle.
Exactly.
You are your circle.
You are
your
circle.
You are.
Absolutely. So if you go around Debbie Downers, you'll constantly be sad, right?
Or if you're around people who aren't encouraging, you'll be constantly discouraged. If you're around
Absolutely.
people who are not go-getters, right? You'll be constantly not going anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
you hang around people who have a winning mindset, believe that what, they will win, and winning doesn't mean always coming up number one. Yes, you strive to be number one, but guess what? If you don't get number one, at least you put in your whole, you put in your best, and you'll yield great results. Because if you think about it, success, someone once said, success, I asked someone what success to them meant, because success is an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where passion meets doing what you're good at, what you're best at.
Wow. So everyone's level of success is different.
Yes, but we should challenge, and I like the way you said that. Every person's because I don't strive to be like that person who says, "Oh, this is success," but I define success as just whatever you do, be great at it. And hey, then that brings up another thing of what's great, right? But still,
but you know what? What's great is basically your definition of what you considered great.
yes,
like my great
you
might not be
compete
your
against
great.
yourself. If you keep competing,
Don't
if you're
compete
improving,
against you.
yes,
Compete against you. Like I
exactly.
compete against me.
Yes.
I don't. I'm like a horse with blinders. My only competition is for me to be better the next day.
Next day.
It's me. It's me. I don't
just showing up.
It's you know what it is. Like I feel bad for the younger generation, because of constant reminders of like social media, Instagram, looking where you are, and then you're looking at these videos and these people and these pictures and these places, and you, instead of it motivating you, it sometimes demotivates you, because you feel that, how am I going to get here? But people need to understand it's not looking at you here and them over there. It's understanding that there's a process to get there.
Mm-hmm. And the process sometimes includes falling. Actually, it always includes falling and being able to get yourself up again.
Yeah, and I think the true successful the truest successful person is a person who has fallen so many times, but has been able to find the strength and the might and the courage to just get up again and just push themselves, because your mind will mess you up sometimes. Your mind will tell you fell 30 times in a row, and your mind will say you're never going to be nothing. Like you hear it. But the true success is pushing through the negativity in your mind.
Never give up. Having that grit.
Yeah, because life is hard.
It is.
Even the richest people, the most successful people in the world, has gone through tragedies.
Absolutely. You know what's sad? Because sometimes people don't tell true stories. They don't tell the truth.
If they would tell the truth, this world would be such a better place. Everyone paints this nice picture, maybe one little failure, and that's it. But that's not life. It's not life. Even the richest person, I don't tell I don't think tells the true story of every failure that's happened to them. Maybe
And
because of
sometimes
embarrassment.
and you know what? But at the same time, I think sometimes you also have to compartmentalize when you have gone through that, because you don't have to share your failure with just everybody. You
Yes,
go with around people who will help you fix it,
yes.
and that's safe spots, because sometimes you can tell the wrong person and they will make you feel like crap.
Right. You have to find your safe places, I call it.
Yes, yes.
Your
It was
safe
like, you know what?
places.
It's okay. It's going to be okay. Don't give up. You got this. Oh, I've gone through this myself. Oh, I don't know how it feels, but I'm going to just pray for you. I'm going to, because sometimes people don't want to just be told that it's going to be okay. Sometimes it's just standing somebody and saying, you know what, just giving them an embrace is all you need to do. And
You
someone's
know
going
what?
through stuff.
You know what? Yesterday, Serena Williams put on her Twitter, she said, "Today I'm not okay."
Mm.
And it just you're thinking that she's a billionaire, she's married, she just had a second daughter, she's won like 20 plus grand slams,
Mhm.
and to hear her say, "Today I'm not okay," I had to stop and send her a prayer because
You
she's
just
not
have to
okay.
listen. Yes, just have to listen sometimes.
She's not okay, but that took so much courage for her to say that because some people are whining, "Well, you're rich. What do you mean you're not okay?" Rich is just materialistic things. You could be rich and have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You could be rich and not have any money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So in our world, in this world we live in, this secular world we live in, everyone thinks because you have money, your happiness is guaranteed. You don't have bad days. You can't buy happiness with money. You can't. You can temporarily
Even
fix
something
it.
just as simple as good health.
You can't even buy that. Look at Steve Jobs,
Mm-hmm.
creator of Apple, died like I think he was 49 or 50 years old.
Wow, he was young actually. He was very young.
You can't buy your health and you can't buy time.
But you know what? If you have faith, faith keeps us pushing through. Because faith gives you hope and encourages you through the
You
challenges. And that's why even with help, just knowing that you know what, you can push on till you don't have life in you.
no, and you're right. And what do you do to push on? What do you do when you feel your lowest? What would you tell your audience? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you push yourself through?
Sometimes I just look at my children and that gives me everything in me to push forward. I also depend on I pray every morning. Wake up very early, 5 a.m. to pray. I command my morning and pray. And it encourages me to go through the day. I have like conversations with my friends, sisters, discussing life. And I've learned that vulnerability is also a superpower. I just learned that like a year or two ago.
Why is that a superpower?
Sometimes we keep quiet thinking people will lose respect for you when you seem to be going through a lot, and yet people look up to you as this person who should be strong, this person who's got it all together. But I've learned, you know what, it's okay to ask for help when you need help. But I've learned you don't just get that help from just anybody, from those safe spaces. And it's up to them to trust. I trust in God first. But if someone disappoints you or open up to them sharing and they disappoint you, at least I don't take it personal. I don't look at it as in it's that person's loss. I trusted them. They betrayed that trust, but that's okay. At least I gave them a chance. So I just say, you know what? I take one day at a time. And for me, hope is my guiding factor. I always have hope, whether it's teeny bits, teeny bits, just like size of a mustard seed. It will get you through. It will get me through at least. And people have their different ways of doing it, but I just encourage, you know what? Sometimes listening to what people do can help you, could help you. But I don't seem to, what's good for me might not be good for another person, but still, that's how I go through my life.
Yeah, and understand that we all find ways to cope.
As long as
I
it's
was
not
reading.
detrimental, as long as it's not something that would, number one, I say, as long as it's not something that could destroy you.
Like alcohol, porn,
Drugs. Hmm.
drugs. Um, but so many people are drawn to those because the pain hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts, and the drinking helps the pain. The drugs helps the pain because it makes you numb. It makes you forget.
And that's why it's
Um,
important we say, encouraging people to get help, listening, being our brother's keeper, paying attention to what's around us. Do you check on your friends? You've not heard from so and so in a while. It's okay. Pick up the phone and find out whether they're okay. Because sometimes it's very hard to pull yourself out of a mess because you don't know how to.
you don't know how to, and sometimes you're too embarrassed to reach out.
Judgment, fear of judgment. Yep.
Judgment, embarrassment, sometimes
Shame.
disgust, shame.
Hmm.
But I encourage anyone out there, if you are going, through something, please go talk to someone, call a family member, a person of faith.
Yeah.
Reach out to these people who are your safe place,
Yeah.
right? Because it gets hard. It gets hard. But you know what? It's 2024. We
And for
have
me
to
as a
be.
Christian, I'll say, as someone who's a Christian, God will wipe away shame. Shouldn't, even if it seems like the worst thing, even murderers have been relieved of shame. Prostitutes have been relieved of shame. So no one should ever make you waddle in your shame and make you think you're hopeless and you won't amount to anything. There is redemption.
That's why God forgives if you ask for forgiveness.
Absolutely.
And no sin, he states in the Bible, no sin is different than the other. Even though
And he died for
humans,
our sins. Let he who has not sinned cast the first stone.
I know. And you know what he also said in the Bible too, there's no differences in sins.
It's sin is sin.
A sin is a sin. So, it's, of course, in this country, there's levels to, like, you do this, this happens, that happens. But in God's eyes, he sees us all as sinners. I don't think he loves someone more, someone less,
And he died
because
for sinners.
yes, he did die for sinners. So I want people to be out there, whoever feels like they've made a mistake in life, they feel like they can't get out of bed, they feel like the world is laughing at them. Hold your head up, go talk to God, and proceed forward. He will bring you your people. He will bring you the
Your
people that you
destiny
need
helpers.
to push forward.
Mm-hmm.
There's 6 billion people in this world. The people who are laughing at you, it might hurt you, but there's another 5.9 billion people in the world that will understand and will care for you and will not laugh at you. Instead of, they will hold your hand. Everyone has their person. Sometimes you have to let go of what's not good for you. If you have a support team who's not supportive, or you don't feel safe in, you need to find elsewhere. God will lead you if you ask.
Mm.
God will lead you if you ask. But Boozy always, every Saturday, sends me Zoom links. She's a praying woman. She is a praying woman, always sending me Zoom links that come on.
Man, that
And
Zoom link has helped me, my dear. Let me tell you. Even when I was in the dumps, it
how
did.
has it helped you? So you can encourage some people out there. How has it helped you?
I've gone through some challenging times, and just knowing, going on has made me know, because they're praying about real things, even the stuff you've just been talking about: shame, about disappointment, about rejection, about betrayal. And it's like, guess what? You're enough. You're going, and also how to go about those challenges, methods to deal with it, encouragement, but also real situations. Actually, for me, it's a coach. My person of the was also happens to be also a coach of mine, and I've gotten back on my feet because as a result of going through spiritual stuff, because a lot of stuff is also your spiritual balance. And that sometimes when you sometimes might experience procrastination could be um, a symptom of something else.
It's a symptom of fear. You're
Absolutely.
afraid. You're
You're
afraid.
afraid. And someone who holds you accountable helps you overcome that. And some of prayer makes, because you're like, the last person who can give up on you is God. And going there
He
and
will
then
never
finding
do
that
that.
other people, you're not the only person who's going through that, because you start seeing others also are going onto that, and tapping into encouragement from God. It's it helps. It's encouraging. It's a fellowship.
Yeah, and you know what? People, there's various faiths all over the world. We're not preaching our faith is better than the next faith. I just feel that find something that grounds you. Find something that's positive that grounds you. Let me put the word positive in there. Um, because we can't walk this earth alone. I know that I'm not alone. I have conversations with God all the time. And even though at my loneliest periods, I know that He's holding my hand and He's walking with me. I feel His presence. I just feel that He keeps telling me it's going to be okay. To the point that one of my daughters, I she has like she fears, and you know what? It's in her DNA. She was born with fear. Everything is like, oh my god. Like the other one, I
Encourage
actually
her
went.
with 2 Timothy 1:7. God does not give us a spirit of fear, but power, strength, and a sound mind. Sometimes I use that for me. It's scripture sometimes helps me to go through stuff.
No, amen. I will definitely pass it to her. But what I realized is yesterday, God said to me, He said to me, "You're always telling your daughter, you're always encouraging your daughter, stop being afraid. Like, don't let fear conquer you. Don't let the fear manifest in your mind." He was like, "When are you gonna take that advice?"
Yo, tell me about.
I was like, I actually heard him say that, like, you're encouraging. He was like, how is your daughter supposed to feel this if in your energy you're always letting like fear just stop you? He was like, just let it go and just run.
Surrender.
Just let it go and run. And let me handle all the stumbles along the way.
Mm, that's powerful.
And for the first time, I'm like, okay, I'm letting it go, because I know when you make a promise to me, God, you always come through. So I'm gonna run like a playful child. I'm gonna run, and every time I fall, I know you're gonna be there to pick me up. No matter if no one else is there. No matter if everyone thinks I'm crazy, or no one believes in me, or no one, or people don't think I can do it, or people have made me feel like I'm not important enough to just be known, to just be friends, whatever, just whatever. He said, don't worry, D. You got me. You got me. And I am the most powerful, to have. So the fact that you have me,
Amen.
forget about what you don't have. Forget about the people who don't see you. Forget about the people who don't believe in you. Forget about the people who don't support you. Forget about the people who don't help you. He was like, you only need me.
Yep, that's true.
You only
Wow.
need me. This is what he
Absolutely.
said to me. You only need me. So we're in a world of 6 billion people. Everyone has their own insecurities. Everyone has their own problems. I guess at the end of the day, he was telling me to stop overthinking.
And we do that sometimes. And some days are better than others. But we should just get back to the resets.
It's
It's okay.
it's
It's okay to pivot.
But you know what makes me sad? I wonder what our children go through.
I'm hopeful.
With
I'm
everything that's going
hopeful.
on now, not with everything. I think when I was growing up, life was so much simpler, right? I didn't know what was going on in other people's households. I thought everyone's household was like my household, right? I didn't care about. Yeah, they used to rank on me back in the day, like the clothes I wear. But then, you got over it. You went to school. I can't even imagine what kids are going through, knowing that they have social media and seeing what everyone else has, or what everyone else is going through, or opportunities that other people have that they're not getting, or the circumstances of their environment, and they look at other people's environment. If I'm an adult and I'm going through overthinking and going, the process of, the fear, I always wonder, what does a teenager go through? Do you know the number one killer in children and young adults is suicide? That, it breaks my heart. I'll meet people, I meet kids, and I talk to them, I advise them. And I always say to them, I know what you might be going through. You feel like it's your whole entire life, but it's only a blip of what you were really going to be in this world. So whatever pain you're going through, whatever confusion you're going through, whatever shame, because kids go through that too.
True.
I want to encourage kids to tell them to hang on. It's only a blip. If you do the work, you will get out of it. If you do the work, the feeling that you're feeling will be released. Do the work, stay focused, and you will be okay. What God gave us, thankfully, is
Gonna
another
be
day.
all right.
What God gave us is another day. Another
Yep.
day. Another day to start over.
I take days very seriously. It's so interesting because if a day starts not on the right foot, I always believe, oh, tomorrow is a new slate. It gives me hope.
So how have you're in business, and you are one of the best public speakers that I know. You are in different forums, on different panels, and people come out to actually hear you speak, hear you talk, because they need encouragement. When you go and talk in your panels, are you the wise woman who, when you speak, yes, you're intelligent, but you also speak with care, with empathy, and like you said, you give people a little hope? How is your interaction with your audience?
I see myself in them and I try to intentionally connect with them.
And how do you do that? How do you try to connect?
Eye contact, a nod, hug, handshake, a wave, and yeah,
Letting them.
it's, I just try to be myself. I love people, so I try to be authentic.
And you let them know that you see them,
Yes,
because
or I
people
was
want to be.
once them, and they can be where I am, and I am where I am because of people who have come before me. Even God's favor upon me and people's favor upon me. I didn't do this by myself. So people should continue dreaming big and never give up on their dreams. And no one should ever tell them they will never.
Hi everyone. Boozy is having some technical difficulties with her um, audio and the video. So we will try to see if she's going to come back. Hopefully, she noticed that she did drop off. But this was like such an amazing conversation to have, because we are now approaching the holidays, and what happens is it's a happy time for a lot of people, but we have to understand also that it's not a happy time for a lot of people. So I want everyone out there to be mindful, to be kind to one another, um, to respect one another, and to make the spirit of the holidays um, joyful, not only for you and your family, but with your interaction with everyone else. Because I really want everyone to have a nice holiday. Yes, Boozy is back. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me? I think she's trying to fix the difficulties, but whatever holiday, and I say this because, I understand life is hard. I have babies, and I see the things that they go through, and I try to encourage them. And sometimes we think things are so painful that we can't even get through the day. You know, it just breaks my heart, because I was reading something that every 11 minutes, um, someone in this country, just this country alone, dies from a fentanyl overdose. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was every 11 minutes. So basically, when I look at my clock, every 10 minutes or so, there's someone in this world, or at least in America, I think the statistic is based on America, United States, dies of a fentanyl overdose. I don't know why, um, but I know that people turn to drugs sometimes, not only for the high, but also for the pain they are going through. So not everyone is happy. Everyone might look happy. People might not be telling you their stories. People might not telling you what's going on in their life, because sometimes people think like hearing bad news all the time is such a negative thing. And people feel that, well, why are you telling me this? Like, I have my own problems. And sometimes people feel like they don't have nowhere else to go. Um, Therapy is expensive, and a lot of insurance companies might cover it, but not cover it for a long extent of time. And with the complexities of the brain and where your feelings are and where your actions are, sometimes you want to go to someone to talk to, but you don't have access or can't afford it. But Boozy is back. Boozy, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Some
Yay! I was
technological problems.
No, but you know what? This is an example of life, right? We were just talking about life, and you might be dry. You might think everything is perfect, and then boop, the stumble comes. because
Exactly. That was
what?
that's a symbol, right?
Yeah,
Literally.
that is a confirmation that no matter who you are or what's going on, you don't know when the stumble's going to happen. But this is a perfect example. You dust yourself off, and now you're back again.
Absolutely. We're not giving up.
No, this is what I mean. You could have sat there and said, "Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm not going to come back on my things." But you know what you said? This is life. I'm here to win, and with winning, there's challenges and stumbles, and I'm going to come right back on, and we're going to finish the conversation. So we stopped on people want to be seen. So the good thing about this, a lot
Acknowledgement, hey?
acknowledgement. They the good thing about you, Boozy, is God has given you the gift of allowing you to see people, and because of you are so charismatic, you are so loving, you have so much empathy that you don't even understand that hug that you're giving that person might have saved their life.
I've been told that before. Someone just contacted me and said I gave them a hug and they were contemplating suicide.
And sometimes
And
you
they
don't
told me
understand.
that after.
There's a lot of people in this world that don't even get touched and don't not touch
You
like
know, even at Queens, I think a cousin of mine worked in a NICU, and she just used to go. No, as a volunteer when she was in college, to go and hug babies.
I'm gonna say that positive touch because we don't want to talk about touch because there's some touches that are very negative, right? But that positive touch of love and embrace might change someone's life forever.
Hmm.
There's people that wake up that don't even know the feeling of being touched in a loving way. So I know you when you speak to your audience, I think they come from more because you're coming from a place of you see they could see you putting themselves yourself in their shoes. You have a lot of empathy. So let's dive in and let's talk about the opportunities that we might have, and we do have in Africa right now with the Africa diaspora. What is a message that you want out there in the way of in the future of how we all can work together to make this sport very successful?
Just assimilating and trying to learn about others. I think you know what has been the problem with what the messaging has been. Our stories have not been told by us, and that is everybody, on mainstream media. And I will say this, it might sound cliche, but until a lion begins to tell its story, the story of a hunter will be glorified. In other words, if I say, you know what, friends, you're welcome to visit the continent of Africa, it's open for you from a touristic point of view, from a business point of view, and you'll be welcome. You'll have fun. You'll be received well. Sometimes you just have to take that leap to go onto the continent. It might be emotional for if you're, I mean, African American, but guess what? People are doing it, and they're trained to also. You see, you'll realize, wow, you're from a powerful people, and you're powerful. You're the best that came to this country. You're the best. And but at the same time, the people in the continental Africans love you Americans. Love Americans. You'll be received well. So we should try to also make some of those heritage visits.
So what do you think this hasn't happened sooner? Why is
Because
do
of
you think it's a
conversations that happen, people still in this day and age, people still think Africans live in trees. They think um, everything about Africa is poor, and they think that people on the continent hate African Americans or, Americans. And those are stereotypes that have been ingrained. But it's important. That's why friends like myself are important in people's lives, because when people encounter people like me or like you, Danny, people are like, wow, Boosie made me feel welcome, or so and so was around Boosie, it was welcoming. They begin to see, oh, that person is actually representative of Africa as well.
Where are you from,
Africa.
Boosie? So
I'm half
everyone out
Ugandan,
here.
half South African, and I also grew up in Zambia.
So what? So how can we encourage um, people to go and visit and see for themselves instead of like taking other people's narrative and
Yeah.
stereotypes?
Um, always can. I mean, I'm a consultant, so I can always recommend to people what they could do, from also business standpoints, but also there's also Forbes study under 30 coming up in Botswana next year, and yeah, there's and then also coming to some events that are local. Yeah,
You actually
you'd know
just
about
finished
some of the
speaking.
events.
You just finished speaking on a Forbes panel on Africa
Mhm.
Diaspora. How was that like?
It was great. It was well received. I got a lot of. I mean, I was on a panel with Nick Cannon, and it was moderated by Randy Lane, who's the chief content officer of Forbes, and we talked about the opportunities and also Forbes 30 under 30 in Botswana, and encourage people to visit the continent. People have just been, my DMs have been on fire in terms of, even a senator contacted me and said they want to visit the continent.
Okay, Boosie has had a little bit more technical difficulties. I really want her to come back so she can give us her handles of how to get in touch with her. Because I know the audience out there would love to, you know, basically get in touch with her. I mean, she's accessible through Instagram, and I am accessible through Facebook. So let's give her a couple of minutes and see if she's going to, come back on. Oh, her IG is up right now. So as you're looking at the screen right now, you can see her IG. Um, you can go follow her. You can DM her. You can ask her questions. She will definitely answer you back. Um, I'm so happy that I have her here. And I'm proud of you, sis. I'm so proud of her. I want to give her flowers. Please, she has an event coming up on December 9th in New York City, from 1 to 4. You can DM her to get more information about this upcoming event. It's 2024 Manifest Your Vision Board with Boosie Matsiko. 2024 is a new year. Whatever you didn't accomplish this year, it's okay. You have yet another year that you are able to make your dreams come true. But in order to make your dreams come true, you have to do the work. People have to understand you can dream about it, but without no actions behind it, 9 times out of 10, it is not going to happen, or it's not going to come into your front door and disappear. We have to take actionable steps every single day to make our dreams happen. Even if it's the smallest thing that you have to do, please get it done. Do it. Don't stop at all. Boosie, please let everyone know your handles. Please let everyone know your
Oh
handles.
my
How to
goodness.
reach you?
Guys, sorry about technology, but you know
No, it's
what? Keep it
okay.
moving. My handle's Instagram, Busi Matsiko, and done, and the same thing with my LinkedIn, Busi Matsiko, and then sorry, is it? Yeah, Busi Matsiko, and then on both. I accidentally put B Matsiko Anden, but it's Pussy Matsiko Anden.
And you were saying that because we have a couple of minutes left. When did you come to America? Were you always living in South Africa? Were you living in South Africa? When did you come to America?
I came to America 23 years ago. I've lived here longer than I've lived in any place. I so I'm half Ugandan, half South African, and then yeah, I came from Uganda. I was also born in South Africa, and so yeah, spent my my early adulthood here.
And then what do you want to tell people in regards to business? There is business
You know what?
potential.
Starts and also going to forums, summits, conferences, be present in rooms. You
Be
never know
present
who
in
you'll
rooms.
meet. Yeah. Look for some of the free ones as well, some of the paid ones if you can go to them. But just show up. Showing up is important.
And where do you find out about the forums? Like, where can
Even
people find this
Eventbrite,
stuff?
if things like Eventbrite, like for instance, I have my vision board coming up, or you can also people's IGs, Instagram, um, LinkedIn, ask. And
And
when you
then
go to some of these rooms, you meet people and then they invite you to events, they invite you to things, and they will encourage. Then you see other entrepreneurs or other business people, you get encouraged to know that, you know what, I'm not the only one who thinks my idea was silly. And then you'll learn to know that actually it's not silly. It's okay to dream, but you have to be around people who can help you birth that idea and make you know you got something.
and final, just tell people about your event real quick. We're wrapping it up, guys.
Yes, my
I'm so
vision
proud
board
of I'm so proud of
event. Thank
Boozy. I'm so proud
you.
of Boozy.
So,
Thank you so much for coming on my show. I look up to you. I love your story. You are a very, very powerful, courageous woman that has gone through some stuff, but your example of what resilience is, and that's why I'm so proud of you, sis. I want everyone to go to this manifest in 2024, your vision board. Please give them the information right now, Boozy.
oh, you're welcome to come to my vision board event on Saturday, December 9th in Chelsea at Gypsy Rose Bistro. It starts at 1 p.m., ends at 4 p.m. Um, Once you register through DM me on my Instagram or LinkedIn, or you can contact Danny for the link to the Eventbrite. Okay, you can also search for it on Eventbrite. And once you register, you'll get worksheets showing you what you need to do to be prepared to come to this vision board event and come comfortable so that you can be able to cut stuff, paste on boards. Basically, it's going to be full of action and fun, networking, amazing people there. And let's do this. Let's
Yes, let's
go.
do it. Let's go. Let's dictate where we want our life to be in 2024 and beyond. It's time to take action. And what you do is first put it on a vision board. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on I'm Proud of You, Sis. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.